And good morning. How are you today? I was scrambling around trying to fix the title of today's show. Somehow or another, I forgot to change the date, so my apologies on that. I think I made a quick change on Facebook. It'll still show wrong for a little while until I fix it there, coming up on YouTube and all the other networks. So welcome. Good morning. How are you? It's Back to Work Tuesday as we begin today. So we're starting this morning out at about 73. We're going to be warm, headed for the 90s once again. A complete look at the forecast right around the corner. We're also going to look at Agatha this morning as she makes her way across Mexico and then back into the waters and threatens the Florida coastline. I don't think it'll be anything serious, but we'll go over all of that so you'll know in case you've got a trip planned for Florida later this week. Might get a little wet, a thunderstorm here or there too with that involved. Most of all, we want to say good morning. Hope everything is well. We're waiting later today to get numbers from the Mississippi Highway Patrol of arrests, accidents, and all of those numbers that we get after every holiday. It came to an end yesterday afternoon. Now, I got a lot of calls about this yesterday afternoon, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department and also the Mississippi Highway Patrol. If you were traveling out on Highway 19, 5-ish, somewhere along in there, and you happen to see a car going extremely fast, followed by the Mississippi Highway Patrol, maybe a Lauderdale County Sheriff's car involved, there was a car chase. The car chase was called off after speeds got a little out of hand, where safety became a concern, and whoever it was went on about their way. As we all know, they may get away for the moment, but they got their tag number. They'll go visit them later. Get away for a second or two, and usually with people like that, they've got something in the car that they don't want to be stopped with, and they're willing to take that risk of just the fleeing charge later. So that did happen yesterday afternoon. If you were out in the southeast area, Highway 19, and you happened to see that go by, it did happen. Good morning, everyone. Well, I guess you could say breaking news this morning. Is that what we want to call it? All right, we'll go with that. Yeah, he's back. And let's go ahead and just pull this up so we can put it out and let everybody know what's going on. Yep, yes, sir, Bob. Naked Man has made his return this morning. Same guy, from what I understand, of what people described it to me, somewhere between 5:20 and 5:30, seen by numerous peoples on I put an S on that, didn't I? People on North Hill Street, the skating rink down by the bowling alley and North Crest Baptist Church, that area. Naked Man has returned. His jail stint is over, apparently, and he's making a run. Reported with nothing but a halfway smile this morning. So if you happen to bump into him, he's got no clothes on. He's back. That's happening this morning there on North Hill Street. Assume at this point, that's been roughly an hour ago, that he's still not standing there. But we'll keep you abreast of the situation as he makes his return to the news there. Have mercy. Other things going on. A few things that I didn't mention the other night during the course of this weekend. We'll try to get numbers this morning from the PD, from Meridian Police Department, of numbers. But I do know that they made an arrest on Sunday night, 115 miles an hour. That's traveling, I-20. Well, wait a minute. There's more charges. On top of speeding, yes, a DUI involved. 115 miles an hour. That's just unsafe. Of course, after midnight, but doesn't matter. Wasn't as many cars on the road, but still speeding and put others' lives in danger. Free ride downtown. I think there were quite a few of those this weekend. We'll get the numbers as soon as we can from the Highway Patrol and also locally. Get those numbers and see what they add up to. We'll also speak with Ward Calhoun, get those numbers as well for the county that we've got. There were a few reports of gunfire, but really nothing major like I was expecting. I was afraid that Memorial Day weekend could be, well, nothing short of the word horrible, but it wasn't. We did have a few reports, but no major damage reported. Last night, as we go to the map, let's pull this up. We did have shots reported 26th Street and 24th Avenue. Where is that? If you go to the map, this would be if you're traveling down 23rd Avenue, you pass Hope Village for Children, one block due north of there, and then you go west is where that would be. As we'll look at there, here's Magnolia Cemetery. Right before you get there, if you were to take a left-hand turn there, if you're traveling north, it would be in that area. Again, shots reported, no damage reported at this time. That did happen overnight. There was another report that possibly could have been something else, but it was called in, so we'll leave that one alone. But that one for sure was reported as gunfire last night. Now, as we go up the road, Confederate Drive made the news last night. As we pull up this morning, shots were reported on Confederate Drive, the 6800 block. At this point in time, the Marion PD did respond last night. There were no injuries or damage reported at this time, so that's the good news out of that. They did respond to that, though, on Confederate Drive. Not a lot of that in that neighborhood, but we did last night. And again, thankfully, no one was hurt as we scan around and make sure nothing happened. As we go, did you get a chance? I know there was probably anywhere from 300 to 400 people downtown Meridian yesterday at the courthouse. I hope you made it out. It was a beautiful day. As we pull up a few pictures here, this is, of course, the Meridian Police Department. They did the 21-gun salute, sang the national anthem. A fine job they did there. Hope you get a chance to see them. As we scan the picture there, we're speaking. A large crowd there. Old Glory and half staff as she's flying there above it. And here's just a front view of everything that was going on. A lot of people turned out. Got to see a lot of people and enjoyed myself. I've got some video of that as well. I know this was not the only town that did it. Philadelphia, I've seen some pictures of there as well this morning. Wherever you were, I do hope you had a chance to go out and celebrate what it was all about, Memorial Day weekend. As we start looking around, the Meridian Police Department has put out a wanted picture. Let's go ahead and throw this up. Let's go to sammedia.network this morning and take a look at this. Do you happen to know this guy? And I'm going to pronounce it San Antonio Anthony. He's wanted for questioning. That's what he looks like. Thought that was a phone, but I think that's money up to his ear. As we look at this, that's him. He's wanted for questioning in an open investigation by the MPD Criminal Investigation Division. If you happen to know where his whereabouts are, you can contact the Meridian Police Department, 485-1893. Now, they don't give us a lot to go on there as to what he's wanted for in which case. We'll see what else we can find out on that. But wanted, if you've seen him, MPD would like to hear from you. And always make an anonymous tip to them. We did have an accident last night. Minnebucket Road is where this is. As we go to the map to take a look at this, we pull this up. Down almost at the end where it would run into Lauderdale-Tombsuba Road right before you get there, a one-car rollover. Lauderdale Volunteer Fire Department jumped into action. Ambulances were called, and also the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department involved in that. We hope everyone is okay after that. Accidents do happen. As we start looking around of other things that went on across the state, and I'm sure you've been there as well, to Jackson International. Been there a time or two. It's never busy, but there were delays yesterday. Most likely that was caused from flights in other cities. We've seen that in the news to where these major cities had to cancel many flights. And it's starting to bother people of, do I fly? Or do I just go ahead and drive? I don't want to be stuck at an airport for 12 to 14 hours waiting on a flight. Not enough people getting sick. It's starting to be, and they planned for this return for 2 years. Still couldn't help it. But not necessarily Jackson. I'm talking nationwide of people, airports, planning for this, and still a horrible thing. We go next across the state of Mississippi to Klein, Mississippi, toward the Gulf Coast there. A couple went down for the weekend. Fire broke out, and they lost their lives in a fire over the Memorial Day weekend as they went down to enjoy the weekend. It was a camp house. How horrible that is. The two victims were identified Saturday as Mark Failer and his wife, Candace Failer, both from the McGee community. Horrible when a great weekend was planned and things go like that. No word yet on what caused the fire. We have word this morning that a Vicksburg person has lost her life. She was identified as a 49-year-old female at the boat landing. An autopsy is going to be performed to find out what happened. She was found floating. They were loading a boat. We're not sure if maybe she had a heart attack, fell over. They're just really unsure. That was in the Vicksburg area there in Warren County. She's been identified as Monica Lynn Thomas. We pass along condolences to her family. We certainly hope the best in this situation. Just bad. We also go to the edge of Alabama as a dive team was called in to Smith Lake in Coleman County, Alabama. Another drowning victim over the weekend. And those do happen so much. As we talked about yesterday of the boating accident that happened in Georgia, 5 people were killed in that. With this, as people go out and take to the waters and the outdoors, accidents do happen. We sympathize and pass along prayers to each of these families. We also had a report over the weekend of a man killed on I-20 in a motorcycle accident in Rankin County. That's another one of those bad things. And again, this will come out as we get more details from the Mississippi Highway Patrol of loss of life over the weekend. Vicksburg, we go back there. What's happened? Teens. Checkpoint in the road. What happened? Oh, yeah, they had stolen firearms. They've been arrested, and we'll have to do some explaining as to where the guns come from. Start early. This is good news for the state of Mississippi. Over in the Canton, Mississippi area, Jackson, as you look to that side of the state, Amazon, 1,000 jobs are being filled right now, set to open in July. That's good for our state. Maybe if you're looking for a job, you can handle driving back and forth. Maybe you live closer in that area there. But 1,000 jobs being filled as we speak now at the Amazon Center. Hopefully more businesses will find our state good. And again, keep in mind, crime and schools have a lot to do with companies wanting to move here. We know that. I'm not pulling any wool over anybody's eyes. The better your school is, the more companies have to offer their employees, make it appealing to want to come there. This is going to get nasty before this all gets said and done, because this is a two-part thing. First, we look at Canada this morning. Then we look at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue as news comes out this morning. Canada, Justin is announcing a national freeze on handgun ownership to stop people from buying and selling guns anywhere in Canada. Y'all get that? A national freeze on handguns. That's in Canada. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go to Washington. Biden is calling for 9mm as a high caliber weapon and is wanting to ban them. 9mm pistols, probably the most common pistol there is. He's asking for them to be banned. They're not going to stop there. It'll be more of this. You really want to cause a division, that's a great way to start there with interest rates high. Y'all fill in the blanks on that. We'll talk more about that this morning beginning at 8. Get your thoughts on it, how you feel. We go to Kansas City over the weekend. A pregnant lady has been shot 5 times. She was a black lady by Kansas police. She was running from officers. We have not received word yet as to what actually went on with this. The cops were responding to a call of armed carjacking. She was shot. Not sure if there's a tie-in here. We'll watch this closely. That's the headlines this morning. Kansas City is where that is. As we find out more, you remember me talking yesterday about Nancy Pelosi, her husband, DUI? Turns out he had a wreck. Just as dangerous as any handgun alive. Driving, drinking, it's not good. Nancy, keep it close to your home. Clean it up. What's the term? I'm going to say it wrong. About cleaning your own hen house before you go to others? Nancy. That's a bad one there. As we look at that in Washington. That's a few of the headlines that are going on nationwide this morning of what shapes us. Coming up next, we're going to take a closer look at your weather forecast to find out exactly what's coming today, what's coming over the next few days. All of that's right around the corner. Don't rush off. We'll be back here in just a few moments.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054.
Okay, Elizabeth, you get the funny this morning. She said she'd be drinking too if she was married to Nancy. Can't blame the guy on that part there. What was that song Hank Jr. did many years ago? Takes a lot of liquor to like her. May fit in that family. He done had him a fender bender there. Lots of talk as we glance to this of numerous comments about communism and how that stuff spreads. Something to think on there. Morning to up in Kemper County. Nothing better. How are you doing there at the pit stop this morning? Joy Henson Robinson is up. Margot Miller, good to see you there. Let's see here. Rachel Lott is up from Sicalina. Hope you have a great day there. Gloria Ming is up. Many memories there, she said. Tuesday is brought back our naked guy from North Hills. That is so true. Chet Parker, good morning. Hope you're doing well there. Out in Center Hill as well. Beth Vick is up from Sicalina. A lot of Sicalina folks up today. Miss Richardson Lamar is up. Also Sandy Cass. Good to see you there. Collinsville, Mississippi. Tyler Smith, how are you? Also, we've got Terry Ray, Philadelphia, coming in loud and proud. Levi is up in Duck Hill, Mississippi today. Denise Fulton is up. Here we go. All right. The disturbance. We know that the hurricane came ashore in Mexico. What's it going to do? Well, as we pull it up, let's go to Meridian Honda radar this morning as we look at this. She came ashore yesterday as Hurricane 2. What is most likely, and we'll look at what the National Weather Service has for us here in a little while. As we look at this morning, let's find out what the winds are as we pull this up. Moving along at 6 miles an hour this morning, wind speed at 110 miles an hour as she comes in right there. As we come around, as she came ashore. What is expected as this comes about? This will come across and make its way to Florida. Right along, and here's what we're expected in this area here. Now, not expected to be a hurricane, but we are expecting that to still have a lot of wind and a lot of rain as it makes its way there. Let's go back to this and look at radar here one more time as we pull this up from Meridian Honda radar. There is sitting right this morning at 7 a.m. right there. Shit, this morning moving northeast at 8 miles an hour down to 35 mile an hour wind speeds at this point. She came ashore at 110 right here is what we were looking at a moment ago. This will come out and make its way across here and most likely go into Florida in that direction. That's what we're watching. Shouldn't be a huge threat, but the first storm of the year that we actually see as tomorrow is official hurricane season. June 1st is where it all begins. As we look to radar this morning, as we come across here from Meridian Honda, we do see that Mississippi has a lot of fog the further south we go. We dive into this and we take a look. Laurel, Hattiesburg area. By the time you get to Collins and Summerall, look at that. Down to Purvis, Mississippi. If you're going to be anywhere on Highway 98 this morning, 59, those areas there, 98, 49, it's going to be some thick fog where you can't see very well. This is going to dip down almost all the way to the coast. I really even think that in these areas this morning, we do have some limited vision there along Highway 90 there, but it gets thicker the further north you go and follow up through there. As we'll cross to Alabama, we got a little bit of fog showing up there. Is also Monroeville, Evergreen, Bruton, Alabama. Y'all got a little bit there in northern Florida there, getting a little bit this morning. As we back out and take a look here, Valdesta, Georgia, look at this. Up through the Carolinas, all the fog, a little bit in Asheville this morning. As we look at this, no rain on that eastern coast, though. We have to go all the way over here to Iowa to find a little bit of rain this morning. Topeka, Kansas getting some. And Missouri, some light showers there. They've had storms all through this area. Wyoming, showers this morning. And look at the temperature change. Let me turn that back on as we look at what has gone on here in the Wyoming area. And that just doesn't want to act right, does it? As we go back over the 42. That was always that very, very cold, -degree, 16-degree weather place. Up to the 40s, that's a heat wave for them. As we come down that west coast, not much going on there in California. A little bit of fog out in Los Angeles. No way to tell if that's just fog or haze out there. Been there once. That was enough for me. Good folks, but just not where I need to live. A little bit too busy for me. All right, let's get into what the National Weather Service has to tell us this morning. Let's get into that forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we pull up our record highs, record lows of this day, 1951, it was 99 degrees. That was a warm one. The record low, I guess that was a long time ago. 1984, a record low of 40 degrees was set on this date. As we look at this, we got some light showers expected today, only a 20% chance. But if you live north of Meridian, you're going to be fine. Don't expect any there from Kemper County all the way up through Decatur area. It should be south of Decatur, and as we go up through Winston and up to Mississippi State, no rain in the forecast. But south of here toward Laurel, Hattiesburg, might get a little sprinkle or so. Meridian, less of a chance than the Laurel, Hattiesburg area. As we cut across, let's go to Alabama. Light chances this afternoon, and again in both states we're expecting this after 3 o'clock. So nothing major, but if you got something that doesn't need to get wet, somewhere around there that afternoon, say 2:30, start picking things up. As we look at the forecast of the heat wave, and that's heat, it's coming, more of it. Eastern Texas really getting it now, and Mississippi is way above average, but higher on the way. Got more starting there in California. Coming across, this looks to be a hot summer, doesn't it? Let's look at our 7-day forecast of what we've got into the 90s, even 93 this coming weekend. Today, 90, low of 68 tonight, not too bad. By tomorrow, we'll get to 91, 70 degrees for that low. Night times are pretty good there. 70 degrees is good. As Friday comes in, I would not doubt that this may go up a little bit higher between now and then, but 87 forecasted now for Friday over the weekend. It's beautiful weather for whatever you've got going on. Softball games I know will be going on down in Clark County. And then back to Monday with a 10% chance of rain, but 92 for the high. As we go further into the month, look here, June the 8th, 94 degrees. As we get through the 9th, 92. We're going to stay well into the 90s as we get into this June. Can you believe that's already forecasting half of the month? Tomorrow is officially the first day of June. Taking out May. As we look at this, we go back to the National Weather Service of what they're forecasting. As we talked about that hurricane, it's a 60% chance there. Most likely, it's going to be on the western side, the southwest corner of Florida. Is what we're expecting. Again, this can change, but as it comes out of Mexico, it will head that direction, just straight across, northeasterly. We'll watch this a few days out before we can do it. Most likely the rain will arrive this weekend. As we look at this is where it is this morning, as we looked a few moments ago. And what is the fishing report for today? Not too bad for this last day of May. Your first major time is going to be this afternoon, 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. A slight chance this morning there, fair to Midland fishing there from 7 o'clock. What's the wind going to do? Southeast, around 10 miles an hour. You're going to be out throwing some lures. So quick look at our forecast and things that we've got stirring this morning. I've got Candace coming in. We got all the equipment working properly this morning. Sorry for the delay yesterday. There was a little rump road there. Things wouldn't work right. We finally got it fixed. We're ready to go this morning. We'll have everything firing off at 8 o'clock. Won't you join us? Might pick up a thing or two, and your comments are always so welcome. They help us answer questions, you being a part of it. We'll see you soon, as we'll be back. The Scotty Ray Report, all coming up with Candace and more at 8 o'clock this morning. See you then.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: